What was your biggest change of mind in life?
Biggest change of mind.
Biggest change of mind?
My biggest change of mind? What do you mean?
God.
Fucking.
I used to be Republican and I used to be straight. Now I am very gay and very not Republican.
I mean, I love New Zealand, but I realize that there's a lot more to life than just a small country.
Was the idea that New York City was a place where you're gonna make it in New York City. I believe New York City makes you.
Murders and executions definitely changed me.
Well, since you're asking, I think that you have to decide to be happy.
Maybe just that the only way I can be happy is to be sober.
Maybe at about 40, I finally decided, yeah, I can do this. I only had fake confidence till I was 40.
I think I was really insecure in like high school, but now that I'm a little older,
I was just like, yo, being shy is gonna get me absolutely nothing. So I just decided to I don't know.
What's your name?
My name's Amanda. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Amanda. So you just said that I'm smart and I need to do better. Why'd you say that?
I think that you're like a very artistic and like very creative person, and I think that you've kind of fallen for the trap of like the grift, which I get a little bit because I would too if it was like you're making so much money, like it's alluring. But I think that I think you should be more true to yourself and don't let people like yelling at you like. I just don't want you to be as inflammatory as you are sometimes, because I think you are a person of value and you have a lot of good shit to say, and I think you should direct that into better stuff though, and not fall for the grift as much.
What do you think I grifted?
Just some of your takes about like women and like kind of like the Andrew Tate type stuff, like that manosphere kind of garbage. I don't really love.
Is there like a point? What do you think is a belief that I should stop grifting?
Just with like some, like I can't think of like an exact like quote of yours, but I will say like just.
It doesn't have to be a quote. I know I don't expect you to have that on deck, but like a belief or something that's incorrect.
Just like, I would think just like some of the grifting stuff with just like the women, like the way you speak about women sometimes. I think you should like maybe reframe some of that.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I think the pendulum swings one way and the other way. I think feminism went really far this way.
Okay.
And in New York, there was a time where like women were saying men are trash, kill all men.
I think that's
saying,
terrible.
and a lot of that was, and I think it did correct. So although maybe it did go far, I think it did auto-correct and we're back somewhere a little more sensible now.
Okay. Well then I'd love to see you follow that auto-correction, and I'd love you see you get back to like some of your old content. Like you're a creative guy. I think you have a lot of value, and I think that people would really, a lot of people, women included, gay people included, like liberals included, would really fuck with you if you started to like kind of go back to that, or just come back more a little bit more to the center, and just don't follow all these other like people that are making money hand over fist like that. It's not the right way.
I mean, it wasn't for money. I lost so much talking about this. I just got my YouTube channel back after 3 years, and YouTube apologized. They said that I was right. Like I got banned for COVID misinformation. And one thing that liberals agree with me on, I was one of the first figures to say Free Palestine a year before October 7th, and now every liberal is saying Free Palestine.
Yeah.
The third one was like they said I was transphobic for calling out Chris Tyson on Mr. Beast channel. Okay. I said he was a pervert. Yeah, I know. I got so much backlash for that. They said I hated him and like I hated trans people, and then they're like, oh, you were right. This guy should not be in front of children.
I think people do need to listen better, but people will never listen to you if you're angry and in their face and inflammatory. So I think it needs to come from both parties. I think that you could work on maybe talking to people in not such a an inflammatory way.
Like this conversation.
This is not inflammatory.
I know, but this is the opposite. This is the solution.
This is the solution. Like, don't like try and bait people. I think because nobody will ever like. Even if you're true, even if everything you speak is true, if you're angry and you're yelling all the time, no one will ever listen to you. And if you don't pick your words like in a smart way, if you use derogatory words or start off with a derogatory statement, people are going to turn you off immediately. Like no matter if what you have to say is valid or not. So I think that I enjoyed this conversation with you though. I think that,
and I appreciate you saying that.
Yes.
It was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hope you guys have a good day. Welcome back, guys. This is the first episode of the 1 Minute Podcast back on YouTube. Feels nice to not have to stream this, and it feels nostalgic today. People have nice autumn clothes on. It's brisk outside. Reminds me of the stand-up comedy days, and we're gonna find out after all this time, because it's been 3 years since I did this as a video. What was your biggest change of mind? Upstairs, somebody had a sign that said, "Vaccines are pseudoscience." And if you had that sign up maybe 5 years ago, people here would go tear that down and say you're committing acts of violence. But now everyone's like, yeah, you're right. What was your biggest change of mind? Do you have a second? Take the next one?
Sure, okay.
1 minute podcast. Appreciate your work for Palestine. Thanks a lot, man. What's your name?
I'm Emmy.
Do you know that tennis player?
Naomi Osaka. Are you gonna say I look like her?
I mean, I'm sure you got that before.
You have a minute and that's what you say?
I have 1 minute. Okay, so this is your train. What is your biggest change of mind?
Biggest change of mine? I think I was really insecure in like high school, especially early in high school, and I didn't know that I could be alone and do things on my own for myself, and so I relied on a lot of different people. But now that I'm a little older, I think I understand that like I can rely on myself. I can accomplish things on my own without like, I guess, asking others.
Were you in a lot of long-term relationships? Were you like dependent on your boyfriend?
No, girlfriend, but also no. No, I'm not lesbian. I'm not a lesbian.
I don't judge.
No, I guess, yeah, okay, so I was in a really long-term relationship with her for like 2.5 years, so I was relying on her in a lot of ways, and then like before that, it was like my friends or like my mom, because I was in high school, and I lived with my parents, but then like post-grad, I feel like living on my own in the city, and just like doing things for myself.
You became an independent queen.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll take that.
What changed, what was the switch that flipped for you to become that?
I think the breakup, it kind of forced me to be on my own. And then also like going to therapy, I guess, and like talking through it with someone who's like professional and could like guide me through that.
What did you learn in therapy that you could not learn elsewhere?
Ooh, that's really hard because I learn a lot in therapy every week. But something I like to tell people and that my therapist told me is that your emotions are always valid, even if they might not be justified. And I think that's very important for women to remember.
What does that mean, valid?
So, okay, I'm gonna do an example. So let's just say right now, I'm like, oh, I missed the train because of you. I blame it on you, even though I agreed to like do this. That's not justified, right? Because I'm the one who made the decision to sit down. However, it's still valid because it's what I'm feeling. Like anything you feel is valid. Does that make sense?
I don't
Because it's your like when something is valid, it's like it means it's okay that you're feeling that, or even if it's wrong to feel that way, it's still okay that you're feeling that because those are your emotions. Does that make sense?
If you're mad at me for missing your train, I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not, but that was just an example of like the distinction between justified and valid.
Right. Should men go to therapy?
Should men go to therapy? I don't think therapy should be gendered. I think that if you can, I mean, therapy is, you need to come from a place of privilege to go to therapy, but if you can afford it, I would recommend anyone goes to therapy. I think there's this rhetoric of you have to have like a mental illness or you have to have something quote unquote wrong with you to go to therapy. Right. But it can just, you can go to therapy for something as negligible as like, I hate grocery shopping for my husband, all the way to I'm trying to get out of a toxic relationship. Whatever it is, like you can go to therapy and you can find support.
What do you think stops most women from being dependent and being independent?
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of external factors, right? We live in a very patriarchal society, so
everyone does.
Are conditioned. I mean, everyone does, right? But one group of people benefits from it. Another group of people doesn't benefit from it, right? Yeah, I don't think so.
I think women would benefit from a matriarchal society.
I don't know. Let's take like a finance bro at JP Morgan. He's benefiting off the patriarchy, right? Women have much higher standards that they have to reach. There is a glass ceiling for women. So I feel like
if you measure it in business terms.
I mean, but even the expectation that like women should stay at home and cook for their husband, take care of their husband, something like that, right, is a deep-seated belief that's rooted in centuries of patriarchy.
Is the patriarchy bad?
Is the patriarchy bad? Let's say that women not having equal opportunities simply because of their gender, which is something that they can't control, right? I mean,
Nowadays you can.
You can, but let's just say, now we're getting something else. But yeah, I mean, anyone who identifies as a woman, they're going to face obstacles that have existed for a very long time. And so I do think it's bad because these obstacles in some ways are arbitrary.
What obstacles do you face right now that I don't face?
Because obstacles can mean a lot of things. I would say that women, let's talk about like health. Women have to think a lot about their health in a way that men don't necessarily have to. I had like a gynecology appointment yesterday, and it was a moment where I thought, damn, there are so many things that we have to do to make sure like we have like sexual health that like men don't necessarily have to. More appointments we have to book. The procedures are more painful. For example, like IUD insertion. It's super painful, but we don't really get much warning or much like support through it, right? Like you get a little bit of a pill to open up your cervix, and then you might get a little bit of like lidocaine on your cervix to kind of numb it, but that's it. But it's an insurmountable amount of pain.
On the inverse though, men die a lot younger and we have a higher suicide rate because our expectations is that we have to take over the dangerous situations and the provider and be the, like if an intruder comes in our house, I'm the one who has to go there with a gun and figure it out. If somebody attacks us, it's the man. That's oftentimes why we have a much shorter life expectancy than women. So the health, it's like, yes, you deal with some things, but so do we too. If the Titanic sinks, you're going on the lifeboats. I'm staying there and sinking, playing the violin.
It's a great thing the Titanic doesn't exist anymore, and that modern cruise ships have lifeboats for everyone.
But the idea still exists, and the expectation still does.
What idea?
That if things were to go south, if an iceberg was going to hit us, that I have to protect it while you guys go in the lifeboat.
What goes south?
An intruder comes in the home, or somebody attacks, or an invasion comes, or
that I live with a man, right? But what, like I live on my own. What if someone intrudes? Am I going to rely on a man? No, I'm going to rely on myself.
Well, you're the outlier, but for the in a patriarchal society where there's families.
Okay, I wasn't sure what the baseline here was.
In a family.
Okay.
In a family.
What does family mean to you?
Like a mother, father, and children.
Okay.
Right. If an intruder comes.
Traditional nuclear family.
Right.
Okay.
If an intruder comes, it's up to the man to protect in that situation. That factors into why men have a shorter life expectancy. My point is, like, yes, you have to deal with different health problems, but so do we. We also have to put ourselves in different situations. So it does balance. So there's.
But you have to carry a baby for 9 months and risk your life giving birth to that child.
No, but we have to deal with women our entire lives.
No, you don't. That's your own choice. You make a decision. You have autonomy. You're an adult, right? I'm assuming you're over 18. You have a decision. You choose to get married. You choose to have kids. You choose to put your life at risk if an intruder breaks in.
You think the obstacles you face are the health?
I think that's one of them. That was one example. But also, like, let's talk about sexual harassment, sexual assault. You know, that's another really big one that we can talk about.
Violent crime and suicide rate, we got that one.
I don't think it's productive or effective for the sake of destigmatizing mental health to gender suicide, right? Like, of course, the statistics and the numbers show that in the U.S., right? You're saying in the U.S. or globally? Globally, men...
Yeah, it's both. It's overwhelmingly men, like over 80%.
Over 80% of people who commit suicide.
Of suicide victims are men, yeah.
Okay, so I guess in that sense, if it is a overwhelming majority, it is gender, but I do still think, like, I personally don't think that we should gender things necessarily. I think it is important to ask, like, why is it that young men are committing suicide? But I don't think it's productive.
So then the patriarchy doesn't exist. If we're not going to gender that, then stop saying we live in a patriarchal society. We just live in a society. And this is how it is. Don't gender that.
I think that's flawed. That's a little bit applicationist.
That was what you just said. You said we shouldn't gender things.
Right. In an ideal world, there's a difference between an ideal world for me saying I don't think we should gender things and saying as a woman right now, just objectively, statistically, ask a sociologist, ask an anthropologist, right? I'm neither of those things. Even ask a scientist, right? Women are at a disadvantage for a lot of different reasons. Just because men statistically commit more suicide doesn't mean the patriarchy doesn't exist, right?
Just following your line of logic that we shouldn't gender everything.
Line of logic.
You said we shouldn't gender things.
But that doesn't mean the patriarchy doesn't exist, though.
You're gendering it.
Now we're in a cyclical argument. So
I guess we can move on. What was your biggest change of mind in life?
My biggest change of mind. Maybe at about 40, I finally decided, yeah, I can do this. I only had fake confidence till I was 40. I don't know why. I didn't believe I could do anything. But really, you can. So I wish I had realized that when I was 20 instead of 40, but it's fine.
What is it that you did that you couldn't do before?
Just work stuff. Am I smart enough to learn? Am I tenacious enough to make progress? I wanted to do this one job and I never did it. And then I started doing it. Maybe I was the problem the whole time, Like, just step into it, do it bad, and eventually you'll do it good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta fail a couple times to succeed.
Fail a million times, and it's not even failure. What failure? What's that? Doesn't even exist. Nobody cares. Everyone wants you to succeed. Everyone, they do. Especially here in New York. If you fall down, I think someone will pick you up and they'll say, "You'll be fine. Keep going."
I found it to be the opposite in a lot of cases. I found that, I think your close family, especially your mother, doesn't really want you to succeed because that means that she's not able to protect you the same way. So she still kind of wants you, like with that step where you break out and really succeed, that's away from her protection. And also a lot of friends, maybe not true friends, a lot of them don't really want you to succeed because their time you spend hanging out,
you are.
They're happy because you're all losers. Yeah. And then once you're out of
small ball, it's safe.
Right.
But my mother said something once. She goes, the first time you let your kid cross the street without holding their hand, they're moving on their own. Like, that's
a sad moment for them.
Yeah, but it happens fast. I hope your mother wants you to succeed. You look confident, and here you are. You got your Subway table going, and
got the pumpkin too.
Got the pumpkins. You got some seasonal action going here. What is this podcast? What do you?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where New Yorkers are at mentally. And what you said is interesting. What do you think was holding you back?
Me. Just waiting for permission. What's that? You don't need permission. Did anyone give you permission to be here today? You thought it, you did it.
You could just do things.
You could do them great. Everyone is much, don't wait for approval, don't wait for permission, just do it. If somebody wants to stop you, they will, but they won't, They won't, and you'll figure it out. Everyone's very clever. They are, I think,
You said that you had fake confidence. What is the difference between fake and real confidence?
Moving forward, I was just, fitting in, pretending I was like everyone else. And then at some point, you got to take bold action. You got to ask people for help. You got to tell them you don't know. Look, I want to do this thing, but I don't know anything about it. Can you help me? That takes a lot of courage, to ask for help. Everyone's always acting like they know everything. But if you ask them sincerely, they'll probably help you. They'll probably help you if you show that you are sincere and you're going to do the work. I always wanted to like narrate and talk, be on like the radio, on television.
You have the radio voice. You sound like Opie and Anthony.
Yeah. So, people who are nursing or pregnant or may become pregnant who should not take Wegovy or whatever they take. I was like, I want to do that, but I didn't know how. And I knew some people who did it, but I was afraid to ask them because I was ashamed, like that I didn't know anything. But eventually I got over my bad self, and I asked a lot of questions. And I went here, and I went there, and now I do it all the time. That's what I do. I do a lot of narrating, TV, radio stuff.
Do you do books too?
Yeah. I don't like the books though. I did 4. I didn't.
Too long.
it was lonely. It was like being at a party. You're the only guest, you know, and you got to really focus.
Can I hear the radio voice? Can you do an ad for this pumpkin?
I just try to. The trick is just be you. So coming up on Halloween here in New York City, we got some pumpkins here. Everyone loves them. Everyone wants one. Puts you in the spirit. Puts you in the mood. Hey, be nice to yourself. Get yourself a pumpkin. You'll love it.
I'm gonna buy it now. What was your biggest change of mind in life?
Getting the fuck out of the house, be on the streets, being in Washington Square Park after dark, living there for about 4 or 5 months. It's like some crazy shit going on there, man.
Like what? What's the craziest thing you've seen?
People get stabbed, someone shitting themselves, someone throwing shit at each other. Like, you name it. I've seen it all.
You like the craziness?
Oh, yeah, I'm addicted to danger. I don't know why. It's like the more ghetto places, the more home I feel. I don't know why. It's just like I communicate with everybody, so I can understand struggle, this and that.
What's the most dangerous thing you've done?
Fucking climb a building and fucking just like smoke a fucking fat ass blunt. Like fucking just chilling and hanging off of it, just like, yeah, 1 sec, yep, I'm going back on. I ain't fucking gonna be no dumbass fucking false shit.
Be safe out there, huh? Nice to meet you, man.
It's an honor to meet you. I watched this shit for a long time, Kick and everything. The whole rants and everything, the fucking, what's the thing, the Too Fit podcast, or,
yeah.
That shit was funny as shit. I was dying.
Cool, man. I don't know how you watch it, you don't have a phone.
A while ago. Because I was isolated for 4 years in the house. No sunlight, nothing.
No sunlight.
Nothing. I didn't leave.
You had no sunlight for 4 years.
Yes. And I'm still alive.
You're a freak of nature. In a good way. In a good way.
I think like the cockroaches, I'll survive a nuclear holocaust.
Oh, hell no. Okay. All right.
I used to be Republican and I used to be straight. Now
It's pretty big.
it's pretty big. Now I am very gay and very not Republican. Yeah.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Went to school at Brown. Yeah.
What was it at Brown?
It's
That's
very.
a funny name for a school to become gay at. You found out you were gay at Brown.
It's oh god. Yeah, very queer-friendly school. Was just introduced to a lot of ideas I was not exposed to in high school.
If you had to write a scene of your movie, of your life movie, what was the scene that was the switch that flipped?
I came from like a refugee house in New Mexico. There was, I didn't really meet too many people outside of my small little Viet community. And then I went to Brown and I met oh my God, there's black people, Jewish people, international people, people with just people from all over the world, different walks of life. And I was like, oh, the world is just a lot bigger than my little bubble.
The idea that New York City was a place where you're gonna make it in New York City. I believe New York City makes you.
Moved here and realized that?
Yeah, totally. I came here thinking I'm gonna be the shit, and I'm gonna be the number one, and everyone's gonna care about me, and no one really cares about anyone. We're all trying our best to figure out how to make it through the world. I don't know every word to say. I say the wrong thing. Someone hates it. I try to make it. There's 6,000 other people going for the same application as you. And I think what I've learned is that New York City has so many wonderful opportunities for you right where you are, wherever you are in life. And it's sort of your job to just take that as a blessing and to honor it and hone it. Yeah.
What did you expect before you came here? That you were gonna take it over?
Everyone thinks they're just gonna take that everything's just gonna be given to them, or that they're gonna be the first one on the list. There's competition for a reason, and I don't think it's a bad thing. And I think people become very jaded because they're not succeeding. And I've been through loss of job, loss of home. It hasn't stopped me. Honestly, it's just really kind of grounded me as a New Yorker, and just made me love the hustle, sure, but the life of a New Yorker. Sometimes there's struggle, sometimes there's wins. I feel like I kind of matured a bit when I was able to lose things and just gain a sense of understanding about New York City has so much for you where you are, and you don't have to always climb. There's so much even when there's little.
It sounds like you've been humbled in a good way. What was that character development scene if you had to write it?
Homelessness. Yeah. People have such a such a stigma about that, and I understand why. From not being homeless in my life to being homeless in my life, I can understand the stigma where it comes from. But you know what I think I've learned is when you watch so many people leave you behind and forget about who you are and don't want to communicate with you because you're experiencing this hardship, you're able to then recognize, because you see people going through worse. You see people on strung on drugs. Being homeless isn't the same as being hopeless. And so like some of these people on the streets that are going through homelessness, they're not just homeless, they're hopeless, and you're not that. And so you witness that, and you were humbled, and you were able to, I don't know, be mature about like, okay, this is part of my struggle. I mean, look at all my favorite artists. You know, Viola Davis. Look at what's his name, Tyler Perry. Like, homelessness is part of their story, and I think it's often talked about how great and fantastic they are, but we're not talking about like the climb to get there. It's part of the story. It's part of a New Yorker story. I was able to gain this understanding from just from losing it all. I think I gained it all from that.
You seem happy that you had to deal with that. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't live in this privileged mindset of look at me, I'm a king of the world, and every single little thing that happens to me is the worst thing that can happen to me, and woe is me, and my boyfriend broke up with me. Like, it's just ridiculous the way that people live. I don't live this way. I genuinely want to take my time to care about other people. When I see other people in pain, it hurts because I've been through pain and I understand like what that's like. But the worst thing to witness is someone being hopeless. And honestly, I had to fight through the homelessness and joblessness to find hope. And through that, I found so much strength and so much power. And I wish people would understand that if you lose something, it is for your betterment. If you are able to hold faith and be strong through it, this is a beautiful blessing of life.
You're right, completely.
I think deciding not to be shy, even though I still am shy in some ways, when I went to college, I actually went right here, when I first got there, you know, everybody was, you know, going up to everyone and saying hello and everything. So that kind of made it easy. But when I didn't have that crutch, I was just like, yo, being shy is going to get me absolutely nothing. So I just decided to, like, I don't know,
become extroverted.
Sasha Fierce it and do like a alter ego kind of thing.
Do you think anyone's actually introverted, or are they just shy?
I think that there could be some people who are introverted, but you know what? And this is super weird, but like, you know how most people don't have memories until they're like 3 or 5 years old or whatever. I remember the day I became shy. I was 2 years old, and I was at church. I went up to this lady and I was like, "Hi," you know, and she laughed. And I thought she was probably laughing like, "Oh, so cute," right?
She's humiliating you.
Yeah, I thought she was laughing at me. And I remember like hiding behind my mother's leg, and then I became shy that day. And I was like painfully shy for the remainder of my childhood.
How did you realize that was what made you shy?
Because I remembered it. It was like a traumatic event.
So while you were shy, you remembered that being the reason?
I don't know, but I was told I was a really like bubbly baby, would go to anyone, always smiling, and then I remember that day becoming shy, like just weird stuff. Like my mom would ask me to, like, in a restaurant, go ask the waitress for some napkins or whatever, and I'd be like, you know, like just crazy shy. So there were a few different levels of me like emerging from it. One was in 8th grade, one was in 11th grade, and then one was in college.
How would you advise people get out of their shyness the way you did?
Just know that there's no easy way to do it. You know, like, you're gonna be nervous to do something you haven't ever done before. But I think also because I'm an only child, I have to like go out and get people. There's no already group of people waiting to like, I have to like break into somebody else's club or clique or whatever all the time, So I think just, like I said, I just decided to like, I'm going to just form an alter ego or go into a different part of my mind or something.
What was your biggest change of mind in life?
Biggest change of mind. What do you mean? In what sense? Like with work or with life or?
Some people said, like, I found out I was gay. Some people said I realized I was depressed. Some people said I gave up drugs. There was a change of mind. Some people said I used to be a Republican. Something that change of mind that drastically changed your life forever. What was that?
I realized that, I love New Zealand, but I realized that there's a lot more to life than just a small country. And that I realized that there are so many more cultures and communities and people out in the big world that is worth getting to know. And so I just wanted to get out and experience life and sort of see what's out there instead of sort of staying confined into a small country or a small community and sort of, make the most of what life is and what we get given.
And living on the Lord of the Rings set forever.
Exactly, I know. I was like, I've got to go experience the big world.
What was the change? Like, what made you realize that?
I was very fortunate. My mum kind of got us out and traveling. She was a travel agent, so she kind of got us out and exploring, and I sort of realized, I was like, you know what, like, this is a life that I want to live, and my work involves that. I work on super yachts, so I kind of have this, like, extravagant life of being able to travel overseas and meet incredible people, and it sort of gets me out, and it's really, really cool.
What is one experience that you've had or one story that you could share that other people have not experienced?
I guess with working on super yachts, I've seen what that 1% live. I've seen how they live, and all I can say is having the wealth doesn't actually give you what you think it could give you. It gives you some form of experiences, but it doesn't give you the happiness that I feel like some people crave. They think once I get $1 million or once I've made it and I get that first million, like I will have the rest of my life set. I feel like a lot of people, once they get that, they just kind of keep chasing and they never actually find that true happiness. And I think once you find happiness in yourself and find happiness in the smaller things in life, you really get to make the most of, or you really get to start living your life. Don't try to chase the millions because it doesn't actually give you what you may think it might give you.
You've seen some unhappy rich people.
Very, very unhappy rich people, yeah.
So you going somewhere special?
A wine bar.
I like your scarf.
Thank you.
Is it a date?
No.
Who are you going with?
Them Johns.
Oh, okay. Third wheeling.
Nope, he's gay.
Okay. What was your biggest change of mind in life?
My biggest change of mind? Maybe just that the only way I can be happy is to be sober. It's kind of what I'm dealing with right now, so.
You're going to a wine bar?
From other things.
Oh, okay.
But I would eventually like to, but I've never struggled with alcohol, so. Yeah.
How did you realize that? It's difficult to change
I feel
that.
like just once it gets to that point, like once you realize like you can't stop despite like negative consequences, it kind of just like I don't know, I was at rock bottom. I was really depressed. Like never had thoughts like that before, and it was just like, okay, like I am no longer myself. Like I kind of lost myself ever since I started using substances, and yeah, I think it's just like in order for me to like truly be myself and like find myself, I need to be sober.
Well, you seem like you're in a happier place now.
Yeah, I mean, I just hit rock bottom recently, so you can only go up.
Okay, what are you grateful for learning those lessons? Do you think that
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of people in my family that struggle with addiction, so like I'm glad I'm learning it this young, because I do think it could get a lot worse, but yeah.
What advice would you give to people who are struggling with this?
Get treatment, go on medical leave if you need to from work, tell people, don't keep it a secret. Yeah, just like put yourself first before a job, before anything, before a relationship. Work on your mental health.
What was your biggest change of mind in life?
My biggest change of mind? Well, since you're asking, I think that you have to decide to be happy. I feel like sometimes you feel like, oh, it's something like that, right? I feel like sometimes you feel like, oh, you're just supposed, like, happiness is supposed to come, but I think you have to decide to be happy. Like, you can't just think that, like, oh, I'm going to wake up happy. You have to decide, okay, this is what I'm going through right now. This is what I'm experiencing. And you have different moments where you're like, okay, I'm happy because of this. I'm happy because of that. You have to make the effort to actually be happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you realize that, and what was the switch that flipped?
I don't want to get so morbid. My mom had breast cancer, and this was back in like 2019, 2018. She had breast cancer, and I was just like, dang, like, we're going to chemo. I'm so sad. But she was like, no, we have science. We have something that could figure it out. Let's think positive. And I was like, you know what? For the fact that you're the one that's actually going through this, you're experiencing this, and you're deciding to be happy, let me also decide to be happy. So, yeah.
Did she survive?
Oh, yeah, she did. She got a mastectomy. Oh. Yeah, exactly. So she decided to be happy. And I think, like, a lot of people are like, oh, when you're going through that process, if you're positive about it, you're, even though it's, like, it's whatever is going to happen, but if you're positive about it, you'll have a better outcome. Yeah, so she had a good outcome, and I have her to this very day, so I'm just happy about that.
I think that goes with everything in life. It's always better to remove any negative thoughts in every situation. What advice would you have for people in their 20s? Because you're saying you had that realization in your 40s.
I got one. Yeah, I got one. A little off the beat. Don't fucking waste your youth and promise on drugs and alcohol, because it's just going to slow you down. You know, even if you don't die, you know, it's a waste of time. Get on with it. Get on with what you really, really want to do, because you can make a lot of progress fast when you still got that sparkle. And people in their 20s, they got that shine still. You know, they got youth and beauty and promise. Don't waste it. Get on with it. You know, see where it takes you. You'll be thrilled. You'll be thrilled.
Do you think there's a balance, or should it be sobriety?
No, it's like a balance. Just like, you know, don't give it more than it's due. You know, like, because it is mostly a waste of time. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Also, I mean,
but don't waste your time. You know,
is having fun a waste of time?
No, but I mean, it's not going to get you anywhere. You know, there's a lot more exciting things you can be doing. And I mean, I threw my youth away with both hands, just like everyone else. You know, but like, I wish I had just gotten to it a little faster. You know, like, I look at you. Here you are, doing your thing. You got a cameraman, you got an organization, you got like a guy who gets new victims, and he's good, and you're like, you know, you have some organization going. I didn't have no organization going. So, tell me your name again, I forgot.
SNEAKO.
Tell me?
SNEAKO.
SNEAKO?
Yeah. What's your name?
Jim.
Jim, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for, and good luck.
Hope you have a good dinner.
You're going someplace, man.
I hope so. I'm trying my best.
This is SNEAKO, New York City, West 4th Street, where everything's happening. You know why I'm here? Because SNEAKO's here.
The full 3-hour version of this podcast is available on Patreon. I finally reopened it, and I'm also releasing the Kinda Quality podcast with Cass again. The first episode is up on there, along with all my editing tutorials and years of content finally re-released.